And that struck me. I was like, my kids were born perfect. And his face was bruised. He was purple. And it's okay. And you're good enough. Hi, friends. Do you ever just feel like you don't measure up? You're just not the person you wish you were. You're not doing things the way that ideally you wish you could do them. It's just not good enough. Do you ever just feel not good enough? I know I have. I think a lot of people do. They just feel like they're just not measuring up. Not where they want to be. That can be a problem. And that lack of confidence in ourselves can create a lack of results in our life. So I have a little story to kind of show an example of this. One day I was going to the chiropractor, and he said this comment. I was, having struggles with my back, and he was helping me out, and he just made this comment that was totally, kind of seemed random. And he says, well, none of us are born perfect. And that struck me. I was like, my kids were born perfect. Like, I don't know. That's how I felt. I just thought, well, all my kids were born perfect. Like, they were perfect. They were everything I could imagine. They were everything I wanted. They were everything I dreamed of when I was expecting them. When they were born and placed into my arms, and I just held them, and I thought, they're perfect. Well, after some reflection, I realized that I think we were both kind of right. I think my chiropractor was talking about our physical imperfections, our mortal imperfections. There's a lot wrong with us. And my perspective in that moment, just the thought that came to me, was about my kids and how perfect I thought they were when they were born. And I think I was right too. I think they were exactly what they needed to be and exactly where they needed to be. And that included their problems and challenges and perfect imperfections. My kids have struggles. My kids, labor and delivery wasn't smooth for any of them, and none of them actually came in the ideal circumstances or perfectly healthy. Pretty close, but I remember one of my sons was born almost 2 weeks late, and his face was bruised. He was purple. But when I held him in my arms and I looked at him, he was perfect. He was so perfect, and I couldn't have imagined a more beautiful person in that moment. When I held him and I looked at him, I knew he was perfect. So, what do we take away from that? What do we learn from that experience that I had about analyzing perfection and what it means? None of us will be our true ultimate selves in this life. That's not what mortality is. It's not about this ideal and this perfection and being exactly what we want and maintaining perfection or looking perfect. It doesn't last. Sometimes we can get really close, and we can get sneak peeks of our true self, and we can behave in a way that makes us proud, and we can do things that make us feel accomplished. But then we stumble and fall sometimes, and we have flaws and we have failures. But I think that all of it is included in our perfect life, the kind of perfection that comes from learning through struggles and failures and challenges. And so next time you're thinking about how you're not measuring up or you're not good enough, I want you to think about how your mother thinks about you, or your father. Even in their imperfection, I'm sure they love you. And your heavenly parents, they love you in your imperfection. And they know that you are on this imperfect path, trying your best. And in their eyes, you measure up. And in their eyes, you're perfect, just the way you are. I want you to know that I believe in you. And I believe all your imperfections are part of our Heavenly Father's perfect plan for your life. And I hope that this message gets to you, gets to your heart, and that you can feel it in your heart. The witness that I have of perfection and imperfection, perfect imperfection, because it's a part of our lives and it's okay, and you're good enough.